Hello, and welcome to our High Impact Practice Overview. In this video, we'll be focusing on one of the most transformative experiences for students, capstone courses and projects. In architecture, a capstone is usually the final piece placed during construction that locks all the stones into position. It often symbolizes completion, culmination, and achievement. And in higher education, it serves a similar role. A capstone course or project is a culminating academic experience that allows students to integrate and apply everything they've learned throughout their degree. It's recognized as a high-impact practice by the AAC&U because it fosters deep learning and real-world engagement. Capstones have been part of U.S. education since the early 20th century, originally used in professional fields and later expanding across disciplines as part of outcomes-based education models. What makes a capstone high impact? Key components include culminative learning, research or creative work, relevance to real-world problems, and opportunities for reflection and public presentation. Capstones can take many forms. They might include a performance, such as in theater, dance, or performance studies, a research paper, similar to a thesis or mini dissertation, or a portfolio, such as a collection of poems, essays, and reflections for writing or English degrees. No matter the format, they challenge students to demonstrate their skills and prepare them for life beyond college. Ultimately, a capstone is more than just a final assignment, it's a launching point for what comes next.
I have broken down our literature review in 3 different sections: impact of capstone courses and projects, areas of strength, and student experiences with capstone courses and projects. First, we will discuss the impact of capstone courses and projects as a high-impact practice. Through my research, I was able to find that if they are created thoughtfully and executed correctly, capstone courses and projects can have long-lasting impacts on students. Capstone courses and projects can offer students transformative learning, deep engagement within their community, and lifelong skills that can allow them to be real-world ready. Doing a deep dive, I was able to find some research completed by Fernandez, Lundell, and Kerrigan back in 2018 on the implementation of Portland State University's capstone program. PSU's capstone program is a required component for all of their seniors at the university. Their program engages students across all majors in community-based projects. The research found that students reported a positive impact as it increased their understanding of real-world complexity, improved teamwork, and strengthened their leadership skills. Ultimately, students at PSU described their capstone program as a transformative experience that became a defining moment of their college education. Secondly, we have the strengths of capstone courses and projects as high-impact practices. Upon completing my research, I have found that if they're executed correctly at institutions, capstone courses and projects as a high-impact practice can offer students a powerful, high-impact learning experience that fosters the following strengths: development of professional skills, as well as development of self-efficacy. Upon completing my research, I found a case study on Worcester's Polytechnic Institute capstone program that highlighted several of its key strengths and the positive impact it had on their students. The research found that WPI's capstone course effectively integrated knowledge from across all of its curriculum, engaged students in solving real-world problems, and built upon prior project-based learning experiences. The study found that their capstone program supported student success across diverse backgrounds. Ultimately, WPI's capstone model demonstrates how, if designed correctly, capstone courses can not only enhance learning, but also equity, student retention, motivation, and long-term success. Finally, we have student experience with capstone courses and projects as a high-impact practice. Upon researching the student experience with capstone courses and projects, I have found a study that was completed to analyze capstone programs across international institutions and disciplines. The research found that capstone courses and projects as high-impact practices offer students a final chapter to their educational journey. Key student experience included application of academic skills to their real-world projects, preparation for post-graduation or graduate studies, increased engagement and motivation, support of personal and professional development. Ultimately, students experience capstones as an engaging skill-building experience essential to the culmination of their educational journey.
One strong example of a high-impact capstone program is Sustainability in Action at the University of Florida. This course serves as the required capstone for all sustainability studies majors and is offered every spring semester. It gives students the opportunity to apply their academic learning through real-world experiences like internships, service learning, and research-based projects. The course begins with a focused 3-week seminar where students build professional skills and explore the dynamics of social change. From there, they spend the majority of the semester actively engaged in the field. Periodic class meetings throughout the term give students space to reflect, share progress, and support each other. In the final weeks, students present formal accounts of their experiences, developing communication skills and showcasing the impact of their work. This program stands out for its strong emphasis on civic engagement, applied learning, and career readiness, hallmarks of a high-impact practice. MIT's 2.009 Product Design Processes offers students a hands-on, team-based experience in product development. Throughout the course, students design, prototype, and test new products, mirroring real engineering work in industry settings. They learn to generate ideas, develop concepts, build models, and manage projects within teams of 15 to 20 members. This course highlights the importance of collaboration, communication, and creative problem solving. At the end, teams showcase their products to an audience of practicing designers, entrepreneurs, and academics, gaining valuable feedback and experience. This capstone exemplifies high-impact learning by combining technical skill building with real-world application and professional engagement. The Elon Core Curriculum Capstone is the final integrative academic experience for students. It's designed to bring together everything they've learned across disciplines and apply it to real-world problems and questions. Every student takes a capstone in their major, but this one is different because it's rooted in the core curriculum, encouraging students to think critically about global issues, ethics, and civic responsibility. Students explore big questions that don't have simple answers, and they're challenged to reflect on how their education has shaped their values and worldviews. It's less about content and more about synthesis, reflection, and responsible engagement with the world. Ultimately, the capstone helps students transition from college to life beyond with a strong sense of purpose and the ability to make informed, ethical decisions in a complex world. Capstone projects across institutions share some core characteristics. They challenge students with real-world problems, promote collaboration, and encourage reflective, integrative learning. But how they're implemented varies. Some are required for all students, while others are limited to certain majors. The focus can range from civic engagement to technical innovation or ethical reasoning, and these differences often reflect each institution's type and mission. Let's review how this plays out at the 3 institutions we've mentioned. At the University of Florida, the Sustainability Capstone is community-based and interdisciplinary, designed for students majoring in sustainability. It focuses on civic engagement and applied learning in local contexts. MIT, on the other hand, emphasizes technical and team-driven work. Capstones there are typically part of engineering programs, centered around product development and formal presentations. Elon University's capstone stands out as part of the core curriculum, required for all majors. It promotes reflection, interdisciplinary thinking, and communication, aligning with its liberal arts mission. These examples highlight how capstones are tailored to institutional goals, student needs, and academic culture.
I have broken down the outcomes for capstone projects as HIPs in 2 different sections. One for outcomes for students participating in capstone courses and projects, and then in the next slide we will review the outcomes for stakeholders participating in capstone courses and projects. Student involvement in capstone courses and projects positively impacts the following: student engagement, retention and persistent rates, postgraduate success, and enhanced critical thinking and communication skills. Just like students, the involvement of faculty, staff, and other stakeholders in capstone courses and projects leads to enhanced mentorship roles for faculty and staff, strengthen connections between students, faculty, and the community, and positively impacts the institution's reputation, ultimately attracting more students and additional resources to the institution. To ensure that capstone courses and projects have lasting impacts on all students, especially those who have been historically underserved, we recommend for the following to be further researched. We believe that we should explore longitudinal impacts on career outcomes. We should track students beyond graduation to examine how participation in capstone courses and projects really influences long-term career success, job satisfaction, and professional growth. We also recommend that research should be focused on how capstone experiences affect our historically underserved and underrepresented student populations, like first generation, student of color, student with disabilities. We believe that research should really examine the barriers these groups face in accessing and participating in capstone courses, as well as identify strategies to make these experiences more inclusive, accessible, and supportive to them. Finally, we believe that capstone courses vary widely across fields such as the STEM, humanities, and social sciences. Research could investigate how disciplinary contexts shape the capstone design, its learning outcomes, and student engagement, identifying the best practices specific to different academic areas. In conclusion, capstone courses and projects represent a powerful culmination of undergraduate education and are widely recognized as a high-impact practice. These experiences challenge students to think critically, tackle real-world problems, and take meaningful ownership of their learning. As institutions committed to student success, it's essential to continue prioritizing high-impact strategies like capstones, which play a vital role in preparing our students for life beyond the classroom. Thank you so much for being a part of our presentation. In the next couple slides, you'll also find our references. Thank you.